Welcome back to Hatter Chatter. The thumbnail was definitely not clickbait. I am all in on my Florida Gators. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. That's right. I'm putting a cool $1,000 on the Gators on the over on their season win total. The season win total is 4.5 games. I'm taking the over. That's right. I believe we'll win 5 or more. And I'm gonna go ahead and break all the games down and tell y'all what I believe the path to the 5 wins will be, and give y'all an honest opinion of what I think will happen this year. Games we will win, games we will lose. And before I go any further, I do want to say, quick disclaimer, do not gamble more than you can afford to lose. Gamble responsibly. It's for entertainment. So there it is, the cool $1,000. If I lose it, I lose it. I can afford to lose it, but I'm not going to. The Gators are going to do good this year. Well, good for what we this. So let's go ahead and back it up, and I will tell y'all the truth about Gator Nation and me being a Gator fan my whole life. So I become a Gator fan because of my grandfather. We used to watch Gator games back in the late 80s, going into the early 90s. I grew up in the golden age of the University of Florida and the Florida Gators, not only in football, even though football is the main sport, but every sport. So I want to go ahead and start off because I know a lot of my friends are going to watch this. Gator Nation, the Gator fan base, is insanely spoiled brats. Yes, we are. But it's not entirely our fault, especially someone my age. You have to understand, I grew up when the old ball coach was laying 50 on everybody. Like he was whooping butt and taking names all through the SEC, and they were dominant, to be honest with y'all. Back then, our biggest thing was trying to get past Bobby Bowden, God rest his soul. I'm a Florida State hater, but he was a good man from everything that has come out afterwards. But he was a big thing. Florida State, the rivalry's not the same. I know people are going to say it is. It's not the same. And the reason it's not the same is back then, every year we played each other in November, near Thanksgiving, one of us had the national championship pretty much on the line. Unfortunately, it's not really like that anymore. Will we get back to there? I don't know with NIL and recruiting. I'm not a big fan of the NIL. And hold on before I go any further, and people start biting my head off about the NIL. I have no problem with the kids getting stuff. I just believe that a lot of the things that are coming around it is going to lead to some bad stuff. Do they deserve to get paid? Yes, it's a corporation. I mean, these universities are making tons of money. The players deserve to be paid at something or give something. But they've allowed it to get all out of control, but that is bigger than me. Let's forget about that because I don't want to go on that tirade. So anyways, jumping right back into this. So to give you an idea, when I went to high school, I actually went to high school with some Gator greats, ones that won championships. Mike Peterson, Zach Sedalis, Shay Shower. Shout out to all 3 of them. I doubt they'll ever see this, but we from the Faye, baby. And for y'all that, a lot of y'all will know Mike Peterson. He's probably the biggest name that I named. He ended up going on to the NFL and playing with the Jaguars for a little bit. Mike Pete. What people don't really know is when he was a senior when I was leaving, or when I was coming in. Sorry, he was a senior when I was coming in as a freshman. He's a really great dude. But he had a younger brother named Adrian Peterson. Not the Adrian Peterson that y'all know, but I'm going to tell y'all right now. Go look my boy up. I went to school with him. He was a great dude. Like, I was a freshman. He was a big man on campus, being the running back at Santa Fe. He went up to Georgia Southern, and broke just about every record. Go to YouTube, look my boy up, look at his college highlights. He did get into the NFL. He played, I know, for the Bears a little bit on being like 3rd string, but go look up his college highlights. My dude was a wrecking ball, y'all. The real Adrian Peterson from where I'm from. Forget that other guy, even though APU is great too. But the real Adrian Peterson's from the Faye, baby. So shout out to my boy Adrian. But that's why I've been a Gator fan. And then, of course, we go through the Tebow years and Meyer, and we were pretty much dominant then. Tebow mania right around here was insane, y'all. I've never seen a player beloved as much as Tebow. They used to call him Little Baby Jesus for a reason, because Tebow could do no wrong. And when he got up in front of that crowd in the famous speech and shed a little tears and said, God bless him, went out there and won a championship, you write that. That's a book. That's a movie. But he did it. I mean, we won back-to-back basketball championships with Billy D. Shout out Billy Donovan, one of the best college basketball coaches of all time. We had an awesome team with Joe Kim and Al Horford, Corey Brewer, my dude Humphreys hitting the threes, Torian Green. We was loaded. A lot of the bench was loaded too. So we had back-to-back basketball championships. Baseball, we won a championship. Swimming, I mean, golf, tennis, you name it, Gators win championships in it. Gainesville is title town. It really is. We are spoiled. If we don't win a championship, we're pissed off. Plain and simple. So, to go ahead and put that out there, because I know all my buddies don't get on here and they're going to shoot up Gator Nation. Yes, we are spoiled brats. I'll be the first one to admit it. We expect to win everything. But, hey, I'd rather be a winner than a loser. So, let's go ahead and start jumping into the season here. I got the schedule pulled up over here on my phone. And we're going to go through it, and I'm going to tell you my honest opinion, not as a Gator fan, but more of where my money's at and why I believe they're going to get there. I want to start off by saying their schedule is considered one of the hardest of all time. Definitely the hardest probably in all of college football, but that ain't no excuse. They need to improve. The last few years has been rough. Really, it's been the last decade's been rough. I would have never thought growing up, I was talking to some guys at work the other day, I would have never thought and dreamed in a million years that you would have told me that we'd be fighting just to be bowl eligible. Not growing up through Spurrier, not having the Tebow mania going on. I just thought, you know, our basement was usually 8 wins. If we had won 8 games, it was a disaster year. Just tell you how spoiled we are. That's just being real with y'all. If y'all are watching this, y'all my peeps, y'all know I'm gonna keep it real. So last year was I felt like second year of Billy Napier that we should have improved a little more. I didn't really see it. I believe Billy Napier, he gets a lot of criticism, but a lot of it I believe is pretty well deserved. He's made some boneheaded decisions. There was a couple games last year I can go back to that if you change them a play here, a play there, Gator Nation ain't as mad as they are right now going into this season, and his leash and his hot seat ain't as fiery as it is. Quickly, top off my head, they had the incident where the kicking team and offense didn't know what they were doing. We end up missing the game-winning kick against Arkansas, end up losing that game in overtime. That's just, special teams has been one of his Achilles heels. If special teams becomes an issue this year, I'm gonna say he's got to go. So then you had the Missouri game, 4th and 17, where we played our hearts out on the road against a really good Missouri team. We have them 4th and 17, would have been a big win, a big momentum win. Mertz goes down with a shoulder injury. The backup comes in, makes a couple plays. We got the lead, and we give up 4th and 17. Just unexcusable, y'all. And to be honest with y'all, as a Gator fan, we used to call it 3rd and Grantham when he was there with Mullen, because we gave up so many 3rd and 15 pluses. It's just unexcusable. Attention to detail. Maybe the talent wasn't there. I don't know. Talent, I believe the talent's a lot better than it has been in the last couple of years. But let's jump into the games, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the team and my opinions on them. I'm no sports bettor. I'm no expert, but I will say this. I've been watching my team for probably 35 years, so I know a little bit about my boys. And they've been god-awful lately, so let's see if we can turn it around. So game 1. And I'm going to say this is the most important game of the year. And people will be like, how can it be the most important game? Because Billy Napier's seat is on fire. I live, might as well say 25 minutes, 30 minutes from Gainesville. His seat is on fire right now. He has very little margin for error going into the season. Miami, you got Mario Cristobal down there. His seat's just as hot, I believe. So these are 2 coaches that are desperate to win this game. Advantage in this game to us, right off the rip, is we get it at home in the Swamp. We have got to hold the Swamp in this game, like I said. But not only does Billy Napier need this win to get the fan base to take a deep breath, calm down, give them a minute, say, hey, maybe we're making some progress. But he also needs this game, I think, to build the confidence of the team. The team cannot come off with lay an egg out here or play bad. And really, if it's something where they shoot themselves in the foot, because we've done a lot of that lately. I will say that I do believe, being fair and unbiased, I believe offense, defensive line, Miami has on paper more returning, known, proven type commodities there. We got a boy coming in from Daytona, LJ McCray. If you watch college football recruiting, he was a 5-star recruit, #1 D lineman in the country, but he's a true freshman. You can't expect him to come in. We got a boy from Penn University, Ivy League boy, Joey Slackman. Everybody's going crazy about him, but he's going from the Ivy League to the SEC. I'm not trying to take anything away from my man. He might be a beast, but let's see what you can do in the SEC and big boy football. Nothing against you, Joey Slackman. I hope you show out and you make me one of the happiest fans game one. So linebacker, we picked up Pup Howard from South Carolina. He's got SEC experience. Hopefully between him and Shamar James, we can get a little bit of a better rotation at linebacker. Linebackers, we've been struggling, but one of our big issues has been the secondary. We have Jason Marshall coming back, who flat out, honestly, last year stunk. He stunk. Devin Moore was probably the best corner when he was healthy, but he was hurt all the time. So we need that. We pick up Asa Turner out of Washington. He's going to be a safety, or he's a proven safety 5-year guy coming in. We also got some other transfers coming in on the back end and the secondary. Hopefully we shore that up. And then we have Ron Roberts coming in, who's supposed to be like the dad to Austin Armstrong, our DC. Hopefully he brings things together, brings some continuity, and maybe fixes some of the, they're trying to say a lot of it was broken coverages, miscommunications, and stuff like that. So maybe with him there, another set of eyes, maybe the defense. Defense got to improve flat out. Defense don't improve, this right here, I might as well go outside, set it on fire. Being real with y'all. That's just how it's going to be. So game one, Miami, I really believe it's a coin flip. I believe Miami's got a quarterback coming in from Washington State named Cam Ward. He was big time in the Pac-12. He's kind of undersized. They say 6 foot, 5'11", 6 foot. I'm interested to see now. He's a scrambling guy. Anyone that's a Gator fan knows, if you've seen us play many scrambling quarterbacks, they eat us alive. You go back, you watch Jaden Daniels last year, we pretty much said, hey, here's the Heisman on us. We can't have our own Heisman, we'll give it to you, Jaden Daniels. And that's pretty much what we did. He ate us alive. He ate us alive. That's supposed to be our Gator thing, but he ate us alive. So Cam Ward, he's a little smaller. We're going to have to put pressure on him, but more important about putting pressure on him, we got to get him to the ground. 2 years ago, when we played Jordan Travis, Seminole game, we couldn't get him to the ground, and he beat us pretty much by himself. So the mobile quarterbacks have ate us up in history, so that's a concern. I think it's going to be a field goal game. I think it's going to be a good game. I'll actually be in Biloxi, Mississippi on that weekend with the fellas. We go out there every year. First weekend of college football. Back then, Florida didn't have sports betting, so we were going out there to bet on the games and just have a guy's trip. So I'll be out there then. It's a 3:30 kickoff. It'll be hot, humid. Hopefully no hurricanes will default the game or anything like that. It's going to be a field goal game. And like I said, I can see this game going either way. I'm going to say the Gators pull this off. I think Billy Napier needs it. And the only reason I'm going to go with the Gators on this one is home field advantage. I believe the Swamp will be rocking, y'all. The Swamp will be rocking. And I like Mertz. Mertz has played a lot of football. He's coming back. Now, there is question about our starting running back, Montrell Johnson. I'd like to have him there. Bigger than the running game, I'd like him there just for his experience and pass pro. Got to protect Mertz. I think if we can protect Mertz, offensive line was terrible. If it's terrible this year, we stand no hope, and Miami's D-line will eat us alive and we'll lose that game. So, but I'm going to put a W for, I'm going to give us the win right there in Miami. So that's our first win. The next week we have game 2. We have Sanford. Come on, y'all. We got to beat Sanford. There's no reason to even get into a discussion about this game. We got to win this game. It's at home. And it's Sanford. If we lose this game, you might as well, Billy Napier, you might as well go ahead and call U-Haul, get some trucks, get up out of G-Ville. We don't want you no more, bro. Plain and simple. That's what time it is. You lose to Sanford, get your arse up out of town. Or we'll feed you to the Gators, bro. Anyways, so week 3, we get Texas A&M. So we're 2-0. I'm almost to my 5 wins. 2-0. Texas A&M comes to town. It's big. We start off 3 home games. Texas A&M coming to town. Now, they just had a big coaching change and a lot of movement in the portal. So I think it'll take the new coach. The coach is coming from Duke, Mike Elko, sorry. Brain fart for a minute. Mike Elko, he did great things at Duke. He's a great defensive mind. I believe that the transfer portal and all the moving, and I think the Texas A&M program under Jimbo was really out of whack. So sort of like how we had to fix our culture, I believe Mike Elko is going to have to build his own culture. I don't believe it'll be ready by game 3, and I'm going to give the Gators a W there. So we're going to start off 3-0. I know what y'all are thinking right now. Hatter, you're losing your mind. I see where you're headed with this. No, y'all don't. Trust me. Y'all stay tuned. The schedule just as nice in the beginning. So then we go at Mississippi State. We go to Stark Vegas. I love Vegas. One day I'm going to Stark Vegas. Cowbell, more cowbell. Let's go. That's where my dude Dan Mullen front came from. I stand on it. Dan Mullen was an offensive genius. Unfortunately, as a head coach, and the University of Florida, pressure got to him and he crumbled. damn Mullen, you let me down. I stuck up for you with in front of all the fellas and everything, so you let me down. So Mississippi State coming to town, another coaching change. It's never good when we go out there. We've lost some big ones out there. Even going back to Spurrier in '92, they beat us to sleep. They beat us 31-6, and Shane Matthews didn't know what to do. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That could be a trippy game right there, but I'm gonna give Florida a W there. So we're 4-0, and now we really start to get into the meat and potatoes of the schedule. If you know anything about the Florida schedule on the back end, it gets rough. So we're 4-0 right now. We're 4-0, but we could be 3-1. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna say 4-0, but 3-1 is very possible. And then we get UCF back at home. As you notice, we get 4 of the first 5 games at home. So these first 5 games, we have got to come out of here looking good. Y'all know where I'm headed with this. I have us going 5-0, 4-1 coming through here. Now, I will say we're playing UCF. We got more talent than UCF, y'all. We are an SEC program, and our talent is coming up. We have got to beat UCF. But I want to bring this up. UCF has Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn, no matter where he's went, has pulled off some big upsets. This game right here scares me to death. They got a transfer quarterback from Arkansas that beat us last year and actually played really good against us, KJ Jefferson. KJ Jefferson's a bigger, mobile guy, and he killed us with his legs, just bullying over our guys. We got to get that dude to the ground. I don't think he can beat us passing. I could be wrong, but I think if we can keep him in the pocket, keep him contained, don't let him pick up them 3rd and 5s and 3rd and 7s scrambling, I think we get UCF. So let's go ahead and say we're 5-0 there. I win the bet. But if not, we're 4-1, and I got plenty of games to go. I think at worst we're at 4-1. If we are anything less than 4-1, I really don't. I'm not sure if Billy Napier's going to make it out of this year, to be honest with y'all. I know he brought in, he's got DJ Lagway, the quarterback that everybody's going crazy about. They're saying he's going to be the next Tim Tebow. Come on, y'all. Let's don't do that. Let's don't do that to the kid. Let him be his own man, and who knows? Maybe he'll be great, but there's been a ton of flops. Nothing against DJ Lagway, but it's just the nature of the beast. Everything I read about DJ Lagway is he's really a student of the game and is putting in the work, which is good. Because I think a lot of kids have all the talent in the world. They get there and they try to do it off the talent alone. And definitely when you start to get in the upper echelon of college football, and definitely the NFL, is where you start to see that talent just can't get you there. You got to be a student of the game, master your craft. So after that, we go October 12th. This will be game 6 at Tennessee. Now, I'm going to put these 2 games together. We go at Tennessee, then we come back home the next week to Kentucky. Now, here's what's crazy. When I talk to my friends, all of them think we'll beat Kentucky and lose to Tennessee. I'm a little different. I like us better at Tennessee than Kentucky, and I'm going to explain to y'all why. And I'm coming to y'all as a realistic Gator fan. A friend of mine always says styles make fights. And if you watch the game last year in the Swamp, and now Tennessee's going to have everything in their advantage going into this game. I'm going to be real with y'all. Last year, we embarrassed them in the Swamp. It was the best game we played all year long. Plain and simple. That's the best game we played all year long. When we beat them in the Swamp last year, everybody was flying high. They were on the Billy Napier train. We were going. Austin Armstrong was a defensive genius. We were all riding high, and it went flat after that. How that happened, I don't know. The only thing I know is usually Tennessee is a finesse team, and we do better against finesse teams. It's just plain simple. We are just not tough-nosed Gators no more. We've become soft. Honest to God, I'm just being real with y'all. As Gators, we've become soft. That's why the Kentucky game scares me. If you remember last year, we go up to Kentucky, and we let their running back have the greatest day of his whole career. He probably did not rush for that many yards in high school, Pop Warner, or his whole Pop Warner thing. Every time he touched the ball, he went 70 freaking yards. We got punched in the mouth, and we looked like we just were done. We were TKO'd after the first punch. Kentucky, growing up, they couldn't beat us. We beat them like 31, 32 times in a row, y'all. Kentucky's never supposed to beat us in football. Never. Basketball, sure. Whoop us in basketball every once in a while. Football, no. So frustrating. But over the last, since Mark Stoops got there, I'm a big Mark Stoops coach, or a fan of him as a coach. They play hard-nosed, smash-in-the-mouth football, and Florida Gators struggle with it. We always have more talent when it comes to speed and all that. But when it comes to heart and just hit you in the mouth time after time and be able to stand up to it, we ain't been able to stand up a lot to Kentucky lately, y'all. If I'm pissing Gator fans off, that's because you know I'm hitting the true points. That's what it is. So Tennessee, Kentucky, I think we go 1-1. I think we go 1-1. So at this point, if I do have us 5-0, we go 1-1 right there. We're 6-1 going into the gauntlet. 6-1. Now I know what y'all are thinking right now. You've lost your mind. I think that's realistic. 6-1, 5-2. Because I said there could be a trip up in them first 4 games. So I got us at 6-1. Worst case scenario, 5-2. Anything less than that, well, maybe 4-3. Billy Napier's okay, but I'm not really sure, y'all. So let's move on to the end of the schedule, and this is where it gets hard. So we get a bye week after Kentucky. We heal up from them punching us in the mouth. Hopefully we play good. Then we go to the largest outdoor cocktail party, Florida, Georgia. I hate Georgia. Back in the 90s, I hated Florida State the worst. Now, I hate Georgia. When Georgia was nobody, I couldn't find a Georgia fan to save my life. You wouldn't see a Georgia hat. You wouldn't see a Georgia shirt. And I know there's going to be people get on here and comment, oh, no. I live really close to the Georgia line. I didn't see none of that. You might see one person that was a Dogs fan, but they were real quiet. Since they started winning and honestly dominating, man, you can't go to the grocery store without everybody going around with 12 freaking hats on, shirts, go dog, rah, rah, rah. Man, piss on the Dogs. Plain and simple. Piss on y'all. I hate y'all. Not y'all personally as people, just the team. I hate y'all. Like that. Not I hate y'all personally. Y'all fine. Some of y'all are good people, but anyways, we lose that game. I told you I was going to be realistic with y'all. We're going to lose that game. We're not ready. We're not at Georgia's level. Kirby Smart, with Nick Saban gone, is probably the best coach in college football. They're probably the best team in college football this year. They are going to be the team to beat, plain and simple. They did get the running back transfer, Trevor Etienne, against us. I don't expect us to beat Georgia, but I'm going to tell you right now, Gator defense, y'all listen to me good. If you let that boy run for 100 yards, all y'all need to run sprints till you can't stand up and you're puking. I don't care what they do. I don't care if quarterback throws for 500 yards and they put 50 on us. Don't let that boy run for 100 yards. Don't let him run for a freaking yard. I'm going back to remember the Titans. Don't let him gain another freaking yard. Anyways, so we lose to Georgia. Hopefully we play them close. I would like to be in it in the fourth quarter. That's my hope there. If we can get in there in the fourth quarter, maybe Eugene Wilson make a couple big plays. Maybe a couple of these young guys in the receiving corps comes around. Graham Mertz doesn't make no errors. That's a big thing. Graham Mertz, a lot of people hate on him, but he don't turn the ball over. That's important. That's very important in big games. Don't turn the ball over. Got to secure it. So, and we got to do better winning the turnover battle. Like last year, our defense we couldn't sack nobody. We couldn't intercept the ball. Like we got to get some turnovers. Got to change the field. Fun fact, Florida was one of the worst in the country in starting average field position. That's because we let them score every time they kick through the back of the end zone. But anyways, moving right along. So after the Georgia game, it don't get no easier. We go out to Austin, Texas, Longhorns. Quinn Evers, if he's still the quarterback. Without injury, I don't really see Quinn Evers losing that job. I'm actually a Quinn Evers. I've seen him play. I watched him play before he got hurt against Alabama 2 years ago. Man, that boy got some talent, y'all. Another game I hope we stay in. I don't see us winning it. We lose to Texas. So, as I said, 5-2 or 6-1. Now, best case scenario, we're 6-3, or we're 5-4. So that's where we're at. Got 3 games to go. 6-3, 5-4. Now it comes to the 3 games that this is where I think Billy Napier could really make a difference and really get the fan base behind him. I'm going to go with my first prediction and what I think. I think after the Texas game, we're 6-3. We're licking our wounds after back-to-back losses. We come back home and we get back-to-back home games against LSU and Ole Miss. Napier needs to get one of these 2. He needs to get one of these 2 games. I don't believe we'll get both of them by no means. I'm not going to sit here and some fairy tale. So if we're 6-3 going into this one, I need us to split these next 2 games and get us at 7-4. Yeah, 7-4. LSU, Ole Miss. Need to get one of them. LSU, I don't know what they're going to have at quarterback. Nussmeier, depending on what he has at quarterback, maybe we can get that one. It's a possibility. Ole Miss, I think they have, man, Lane Kiffin can coach it up, man. He can sling the football around. But Ole Miss has been known to lay some eggs. If you go back last year, Tulane almost beat them in Oxford. So, like I said, I'm gonna say we get one of those, we lose one of those. I'm not sure. I'm gonna say that we beat LSU and we lose to Ole Miss the next week. So we go Georgia loss, Texas loss, LSU, we're gonna pull the win. Ole Miss, we lose in a shootout. That's right. I think we'll lose in a shootout there. So that leaves us at 7-4 going to at Florida State. Now, this is an intriguing game to me. At 7-4 going into this game, Billy Napier's job at the University of Florida, I'm pretty sure is safe, long as there's been no other things going on. 7-4 going into this game, I believe he's safe. He's going to a bowl game, especially if he still can hold together probably a top 10, top 5 recruiting class. At Florida State, going to Doak and winning is tough, but it's not like undoable. I think it really comes down, I do believe Mike Norvell is a really good coach. I was actually shocked that he stayed at FSU, especially with FSU kind of in doubt of where they're going to end up, whether they're going to stay in the ACC, maybe make a jump to the Big Ten, or maybe even the SEC. So, but they're getting a transfer quarterback from Clemson, DJ Ugalele, however you say it. He went out to Oregon State and kind of like got back on the map. The only problem with that out there is it was more of a run-first offense, play defense, and Oregon State's always had like a quarterback that does pretty good at being a game manager out there. So I'm not sure how he's going to do back in the SEC or back in the ACC. I'm really interested to see how he plays against Clemson. If DJ comes in there and he beats Clemson and he looks good, he could be a dark horse with Mike Norvell being the coach. I mean, if they beat Clemson, it's hard to see him losing another game up until the Florida game. If they beat Clemson, they're beating Miami, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Outside of that, they do have a trip to South Bend, I believe. That'll be a tough game. I'm trying to remember if DJ played at Clemson when they went up there and played Notre Dame. I can't remember that. I have to look it up. I should have this. I should be more prepared. But anyways, like I said, this is a coin flip game. Just for my buddy Snook, I'll go ahead and do it. We're going to whoop the Seminoles, bro. When we're in Vegas, you're going to watch us whoop the Seminoles, and we're going to party like we always do on Fremont with the 8-4 Gators, with the money that I won on top of this for over 4.5, bro. And it's all the Woo crew will be in Vegas that weekend. We'll celebrate no matter what, but let's celebrate a Gators W. Me winning the bet early on should be over. I believe I'll get my 5 wins no later than Kentucky. Somewhere around the Kentucky-Tennessee game. I believe that's when I'll go ahead and win the bet of the over 4.5. But if I do not win the bet, the one good thing is I don't see any way in the world that the Gators win 4 or less games that Billy Napier's the coach. So I guess if this 1,000 burns, so does Billy Napier's contract. So, but I just wanted to tell y'all a little bit of things I do outside of poker. I do like to do a little sports betting. Usually every year I put one bet. Last couple times I was doing Florida State, Florida. I did Florida, Georgia one time. I've done over-unders, but even though college football ain't what it was I used to wake up at 10 a.m., turn on game day or 9 a.m., and I'd watch it till there was no more games on. And back then it was really hard because we didn't have the access like we do now. Old Keith Jackson, the good old times. I grew up in all of it. If you've watched this clip so far, y'all tell me. I'll have the schedule posted through this whole thing. Y'all tell me, do y'all think the Gators will get the over 4.5 by looking at the schedule? Y'all tell me what y'all think about my analysis. And if you like this content and me talking a little bit about sports, maybe I could bring some more of my buddies on and they could talk about sports also, because a lot of them are a lot more knowledgeable than me. And as y'all know, Swaggy Mac, Diggstown, they're all big football guys. They could definitely talk to you more about the NFL. I don't really watch a lot of NFL. I believe they're doing their fantasy football draft coming up in this coming up weekend or the next. So shout out to them. I hope both of them lose in fantasy football, so I ain't got to hear about it. Now, I love you, my brothers. I guess that'll wrap it up. Go Gators, and let's see if I can double this money, y'all.